Just north of the Dead Sea, dozens of Israeli police and security forces remain stationed at the border crossing with Jordan after 3 Israeli border workers were shot dead by a gunman.
This is a difficult day. A loathsome terrorist murdered 3 of our civilians at the bridge in cold blood. On behalf of the government and myself, I send my condolences to the families of those murdered.
The attack taking place Sunday morning local time in a commercial cargo area under Israeli control in the occupied West Bank. Israeli forces say the attacker drove through the crossing from Jordan, stepped out of the truck, and began shooting at civilians and security personnel. They add that the shooter was killed by Israeli troops on scene during the gunfight.
We are surrounded by a murderous ideology led by Iran's axis of evil. What prevents the elimination of our people, as in the past, is the strength of the State of Israel and the strength of the Israel Defense Forces.
Jordanian officials have not confirmed or denied that the attacker came from within the country's borders, but authorities do say that an investigation has been launched. Hamas officials, meantime, are praising the attack, referring to it as a response to Israel's ongoing offensive in the Gaza Strip. Thousands across Gaza remain in a dire situation with a lack of food, water, and the risk of polio running rampant. The humanitarian crisis, compounded with the growing tensions across the Middle East, has calls to end the war at an all-time high. Thousands gathering Saturday night in Jerusalem to call on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to secure a ceasefire deal and bring the remaining 101 Israeli hostages home. Demonstrations there remained peaceful, but in Tel Aviv, tensions came to a boiling head between protesters and police. Now, anti-government protesters and hostage family members did come together once again to urge the Israeli government to, quote, seal the deal. Several did end up being taken away by security forces after a large bonfire was lit right in the middle of the road. This weekend did mark the 11-month milestone in the war between Israel and Hamas. Western officials say the two sides remain stalled on securing the last 10% of a ceasefire and hostage release deal that would see the conflict come to an end. For City News, I'm Karling Donoghue.